Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So now we want to presentation about reviewing our journal. Before it, we want to introduce ourselves. My name is Mohammad Haickal Baihaqi.
My name is Alfian Riangga.
My name is Dimas Fauzil A.
My name is Emmanuel Galih Ananto. Okay, let's begin with the first topic. The topic is journal information. The first one is the journal title. Yes, it does have the journal title. The journal title is Tectonic Model of Bali Island Inferred from GPS Data. The next one is author or researcher. Yes, it does have. They are Cecep Sulaiman, Sri Hidayati, Imalfi Omang, and Imam Catur Priyambodo. The next one is publication year. Yes, it does have the information about publication year. It is published in 2018. Next one is volume and number. Yes, this journal has its volume. And this one is volume 5. Next one is page. This journal has 11 page. Next one is DOI, Digital Object Identifier. Yes, this journal has its own DOI. Next one is abstract. This abstract is in this journal. The abstract explained about seven GPS campaigns were conducted over 3 years from March 2013 to October 2015 on 14 GPS sites across Bali Island. The data was computed by using the GANIT/GLOPK 10.6 version with respect to 13 reference sites in International Terrestrial Reference Frame or ITRF 2018 surrounding Bali. The horizontal displacement varies between 1.93 and 22.53 mm per year, dominantly northeastward, while the vertical displacement range from negative 184.34 to 33.79 mm per year. The deformation in Bali was mostly contributed by subduction at the southern part, west and east, Flores Blackout thrust at the north, Lombok Strait fault, and a fault at the eastern coast of Bali with the estimation maximum magnitude of 7.1, 6.6, 6.8, and 5.8, and also 5.2, respectively, according to the modeling using column 3.3 version. Okay. Let's move on to the next topic, which is clarity of research objectives. Okay, the first question is the research objective clearly explained? Well, the answer is no, because the research objective is not clearly explained in the provided text. The text mainly focus on the methodology and result of the GPS survey conducted in Bali, but does not explicitly state the research objective. The next question is the relevance of the research objective to the problem being studied adequately described? The relevance of the research objective to the problem being studied is not adequately adequately described in the provided text. The text does not clearly state the problem being studied or how the research objective address that problem. The next question, is there a research gap described as the basis for this study? Same as before, the answer is no. There is no explicit mention of the research gap as a basis of this study in provided text. The text mainly focus on the methodology and result of the GPS survey conducted in Bali, without discussing any specific research gap. Okay, let's move on to the next topic, which is research methods. Okay, there are a few questions. The first one is the research method described in detail? Yes, it is. The research method is described in detail in the provided text. The text mentioned that a GPS survey was conducted for 3 years from 2013 to 2015 using Trimble R7, R6, and NetRS instruments. The survey involved measurement at 14 GPS sites across Bali, with each site being measured for 2 days and at least 8 hours per day. The data obtained from the GPS processing were used to estimate the displacement and velocity factors of each GPS site using the least square method. Next question, are the methods used appropriate to the research objective? Yes, it is, because the methods used in the study, specifically the GPS survey and analysis, are appropriate to the research objective of identifying the characteristic of the earthquake resource in Bali and surrounding areas. The GPS survey is a commonly used method to analyze deformation associated with crustal fault activities and can provide valuable information on the displacement pattern and velocity factors of the GPS site. Okay. Let's hop on the next question. Are the data collection tools are valid and reliable? The answer is no, because the text does not provide information about the validity and reliability of data collection tool used in the study. Therefore, it is not possible to determine if the data collection tools used are valid and reliable. Okay. Next question, is the sample used representative? No, it is not, because the text does not provide information about the representativeness of the sample used in the study. Therefore, it is not possible to determine if the sample is representative or not.
Okay, next is about data analysis. The first question is, was data analysis performed accurately? Yes, data analysis was performed accurately. The GPS data obtained from the surveys were processed using the GMIT/GLOBK 10.6 version to compute the data with respect to reference site of the International Terrestrial Reference Frame (ITRF). 2008, the horizontal and vertical displacement were analyzed, and the results were present in the form of velocity values and displacement patterns. Next question is, are the results of data analysis present clearly and in detail? Yes, the result of data analysis are present clearly and in detail. The displacement values for each GPS site, both in the north and east component, are provided in Table 1 and Figure 4. The velocity values for each GPS site, along with their error bars, are also shown in Figure 4. Additionally, the observed and calculated data for each site are compared and present in Table 7, showing the difference between the observed and calculated displacement. The next question is there a logical and cohesive interpretation of the result of data analysis? Yes, there is a logical and cohesive interpretation of the result of data analysis. The horizontal displacement values range from 1.93 to 22.53 millimeter per yard, predominantly in a northeastward direction, while the vertical displacement range from minus 184.34 to 33.79 millimeter per yard. The deformation in Bali Island is primarily contributed by subduction at the southern part, west and east Flores, back earth thrust in the north, Lombok side fault, and a fault along the eastern coast of Bali. The estimate maximum magnitudes for this fault range from 5.2 to 7.1. This finding provides insight into the tectonic activity and earthquake hazard in Bali and surrounding areas. Next is about research finding. First question is, are research findings present clearly? Yes, the research findings are present clearly. The displacement values for each GPS site, both in the north and east component, are provided in Table 1 and Figure 4. The velocity values for each GPS site, along with their error bars, are also shown in Figure 4. Additionally, the observed and calculated data for each site are compared and present in Table 7, showing the difference between the observed and calculated displacement. Do research findings support research objective? Yes, the research findings support research objective. The GPS surveys conducted on 14 sites across Bali Island provide data on horizontal and vertical displacement, which were analyzed to understand the tectonic model of Bali Island. The results shown that the horizontal displacement range from 1.93 to 22.53 millimeter per year, predominantly in a northeastward direction, while the vertical displacement varied from minus 184.34 to 33.79 millimeter per year. The modeling using the column 3.3 version further support the research objective by identifying the major contributor to the deformation in Bali Island, including subduction at the southern part, west and east Flores back earth thrust in the north, Lombok side fault, and a fault along the eastern coast of Bali. The estimate maximum magnitudes for this fault were also determined. This finding aligned with the research objective of analyzing the tectonic model of Bali Island using the GPS data and investigating the deformation patterns caused by various earthquake sources in the region. The last question is, are research findings new and original? No. Based on the information provided, it is not possible to determine if the research findings are new and original. No specific mention of the novelty and or originality of the finding is mentioned in the abstract. Thank you.
Our discussion, question number 1, does the discussion conclude research finding well? Yes. The discussion section of the journal concludes the research finding well. The authors provide a comprehensive analysis of the displacement patterns observed through GPS survey and present a model describing the earthquake source affecting Bali and surrounding area. They discuss the different source model and their corresponding GPS velocities, highlighting the north-eastward direction of movement. The discussion also references previous studies on crustal motion in Indonesia and the tectonic setting of the region. Overall, the discussion effectively summarizes the research finding and their implication. Question number 2. Have the implication of research finding been carefully considered? Yes, the implication of the research finding have been carefully considered in the journal. The authors discuss the deformation patterns observed through GPS survey and present a model describing the earthquake source affecting Bali and surrounding areas. They highlight the contribution of subduction at the southern part of Bali. The west and east Flores back are thrust at the north, the Lombok Strait fault and a fault at the eastern coast of Bali. The estimate maximum magnitudes of the source are also provided. These findings have important implications for understanding the tectonic activity and seismic hazard in the region. Question number 3. Are there suggestions for future research relevant to? Yes, there are suggestions for future research that are relevant to the topic. Conduction more detailed geological and geodetic studies to better understand the tectonic activity and seismic hazard in Bali and surrounding area. This could involve collecting additional GPS data from a large network of stations and integrating it with other geophysical and geological data. Investigating the relationship between the identified fault and historical seismic event in the region. This could involve studying the rupture characteristic of past earthquakes and comparing them with the identified fault system. Next, about conclusion and relevance. Question number 1. Does the conclusion of the study reflect exciting finding? Yes. The conclusion of the study reflects the exciting findings. The author conclude that the horizontal displacement of GPS sites in Bali varies between 1.93 and to 2.53 mm per year in a northeastward direction, except for a few sites to the north and east. The vertical displacement range from mean 184.34 to 33.79 mm per year. The study also identified the contribution of subduction at the southern part of Bali. The west and east Flores back are thrust at the north, the Lombok Strait fault, and a fault at the eastern coast of Bali to the deformation. The estimate maximum magnitudes of these sources are provided. This conclusion align with the finding present throughout the journal. Question number 2. Is the relevance of the study to exciting literature well described? Yes. The relevance of the study to exciting literature is well described in the journal. The authors discuss previous studies on crustal motion in Indonesia and the tectonic setting of the region, providing context for their research. They reference the work of Badan Informasi Geospasial for Geological Informasi and Bok et al. For GPS data processing software. This demonstrates the author's awareness of and engagement with the existing literature in the file. Question number 3. Are there practical recommendations that can be drawn from this study? Yes, there are practical recommendations that can be drawn from this study. The identification of active fault and the tectonic feature in Bali Island can contribute to seismic hazard assessment and earthquake preparedness in the region. This information can be used to inform building codes, infrastructure planning, and emergency response strategies. The finding of this study can be used to improve the understanding of the tectonic activity and deformation pattern in Bali and surrounding areas. This knowledge can be valuable for future geological and geodetic study in the region. Thank you.
So next is writing quality. Number one is, are there any grammatical or writing errors that hinder comprehension? The answer is no. There are no grammatical or writing errors that hinder comprehension in the journal. The sentences are well structured and free from grammatical mistake. The author effectively convey their idea and finding without any confusion or ambiguity. And number two is, are the reference used relevant and up to date? The answer is yes. The reference used in journal are relevant and up to date. They include sources such as Badan Informasi Geospasial 2015 for geological information, Bob et al. For GPS data processing software, and Hearing et al. For the gamut software used in data processing. These references provide current and reliable information to support the research findings. And the last number is suggestion and criticism. Are there any suggestion or criticism that can be given in this journal? The answer is yes. Based on the information provided in the journal, there are a few suggestions and criticism that can be given. Number one is the journal could benefit from a more detailed explanation of the methodology used in GPS survey and data processing, while the author maintained the use of the GMET software. More information on the specific steps and parameters used would enhance the reproducibility of the study. Number two is the author could provide more context and background information on the tectonic setting of Bali Island. This will help readers who are not familiar with the region to better understand the significance of the findings. Number three is, it will be helpful to include a discussion on the limitations and uncertainties of the study. This could include factors such as the accuracy of the GPS measurements, potential source of error, and any assumption made during the analysis. Number four is the journal could benefit from more detailed figures and diagrams to visually represent the data and result. This would make it easier for readers to interpret and analyze the findings. Number five is the author could consider expanding the discussion section to provide a more comprehensive analysis of the implication of their findings. This could include a discussion on the potential seismic hazard and risks associated with the identified faults and tectonic features. Number two is, are there any aspects that need to be improved or developed further? Yes, there are a few aspects that could be improved or developed further in the journal. Number one is the author could provide more detailed information on the geological and tectonic context of Bayu Island. This would help the reader understand the regional setting and the significance of the identified faults and tectonic features. Number two is the author could consider including a section on the data quality and reliability. This could involve discussing the accuracy of the GPS measurements, potential source of error, and any limitation on or uncertainties in the data. Number three is, it will be helpful to provide more detailed figures and diagrams to visually represent the data and result. This will make it easier for readers to interpret and analyze the finding. Number four is, the author could consider expanding the discussion on the methodology used in the data GPS survey and data processing. This could include more information on the specific steps and parameters used, as well as any validation or quality control procedures employed. That's all from me. Thank you.